We are coming off the heels of 3 successful underdog fantasy weeks in a row, and we're looking to make it a 4th at UFC 309. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my underdog fantasy entry for UFC 309. If you don't know what underdog fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers you see on the screen, and you can make some serious money doing it. They'll even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and you have all sorts of options for free money that you can then take and build yourself an entry. That's wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. And while I am going to focus on UFC 309, I'm going to sneak a little stuff in here. We're going to sneak in some Jake Paul, Mike Tyson lines, because the reality is that's a big fight. It's Friday night, not Saturday, so hopefully you're watching this on Friday or Thursday, not Saturday, because then it's too late. It's a big fight. It's a fun fight. It's an exciting fight. I love those freak show fights. Jacob hates them. I absolutely love the freak show fights. And the line that I love here is lower than a knockout, essentially, from Mike Tyson. Listen, I love Mike Tyson. I'm 40, so I grew up watching Mike Tyson, not quite in his prime, obviously, because he's 60 years old, but I did see some terrifying Mike Tyson in my day. And I emphasize 60 years old. The dude is 60 years old. I don't think you know how old 60 is. He is old as shit. This fight has already been canceled because he had an ulcer. You know what an ulcer is? It's an old man problem where your stomach's eating itself. Mike Tyson's not going to knock out Jake Paul. As much as we would love to see it, I hope this misses. I hope Mike Tyson does knock him out. I look stupid and this misses. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. It's just not going to happen. He's 60. And yes, he's the more technically sound. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time. One of the most terrifying human beings that's ever walked the face of the earth. But he is 60 years old. I don't think he'll have any cardio. I don't know what the chin on a 60-year-old man looks like. And Jake Paul, while he won't be the better fighter, he's going to be younger. He's going to be faster. He's going to be all the things. Mike Tyson's not knocking out Jake Paul. So we're adding that to our entry. Now let's focus on what we actually do here, which is the fist fights. We're going to go right off the rip. Jon Jones lower than 11 fight minutes. I think this is a mauling. I think this looks very similar to Jon Jones' last fight. He's not going to want to stand and slug it out and get into a dog fight with a very tough, very durable Stipe Miocic. He's going to get it to the ground almost immediately, and he's going to work from there. So I do think there's a finish. I think it's a Jon Jones finish. Obviously, after we build this entry, we're going to do the flex payout. The way the flex payout works is you can miss a line or two and still make some money. So just in case this goes to a decision, or just in case Mike Tyson shocks the world, we'll still make our money. We'll still get paid. And in fact, the last 3 entries I gave you all had 5 legs. Last week actually had 6 legs. And we did the flex pay. And thank God, because all of those entries had 1 miss. But we still made money. We were still up. And that's what we're going to look to do here. So pretty confident that this fight doesn't go very long, because Jon Jones is Jon Jones. And Stipe, similar narrative with Mike Tyson, is 43 years old. He's a full-time fireman, by the way. And first of all, I love that. I grew up in a firehouse. My stepdad's a fireman. He's a full-time fireman. He just did a 24-hour shift on Saturday. 1 week from walking into the octagon to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. 1 week removed from that, he was in the firehouse. And I've been around. I know they don't do shit in the firehouse unless there's an actual fire. I get it. But that just sort of paints the picture of where Stipe is at the pinnacle of this sport. Let's work our way down. I'm going to stay far away from Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira. I'm one of the few people that think Michael Chandler absolutely can win this fight. But if he does, he can knock him out. Maybe he wrestles and plays smart. Charles Oliveira has already finished Michael Chandler. Too many variables here. We're going to leave that alone. Bo Nickel, same thing. The line that was tempting to me is going higher than 14.5 significant strikes. Because Bo Nickel is a phenomenal wrestler, as we all know. Bo Nickel has also only ever landed 23 significant strikes. In 6 fights, he's landed 23 significant strikes. The most amount of significant strikes he's ever landed in a fight was 8. That was in his last fight against Cody Brundage. But the reason I think he might actually go over this time is he's fighting a guy who's dangerous on the ground, but not dangerous on the feet. And Bo Nickel and his team may be saying, listen, if we're going to strike with anybody, this is the guy to do it. Let's strike. Let's get your hands going. You need to evolve as a fighter. You can't just fight in 2 minutes here, 4.5 minutes there, and then work your way to the title doing that. Let's get your hands going. This is a perfect guy to experiment with because Paul Craig's not knocking you out. Cody Brundage could. He's got power. Paul Craig, no. So Bo Nickel might come in here with a boxing game plan and get past this number, but I am going to leave it alone. If the higher was juiced, which frankly it should be given the historical data, then I definitely would, but at even money, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to go to Karine Silva. While she is dangerous, while she only has one single decision on her entire career, Viviane Araújo is pretty durable. I think this fight likely goes to a decision. You can leave this one out if you're worried about this. I mean, Karine is a proven finisher. A very proven finisher. She's only been to one decision ever, but it was in her last fight. And Viviane Araújo has grappling in her own right. Pretty tough, pretty durable, a veteran. So I think Karine is going to have a little bit more of the same. Come forward, have some grappling success, not be able to finish the also high-level grappler Viviane Araújo. Let's work our way down. I'm staying away from Mauricio Ruffi and James Yontop. Yeah, Mauricio Ruffi is a phenomenal striker who's just murdering people right now. But James Yontop's head might be made out of cement. So I'm going to leave that alone. I can't count on a finish there. What I can count on is Jonathan Martinez not finishing Marcus McGee. Yeah, Jonathan Martinez has a couple of finishes, those nasty leg kicks specifically, but Marcus McKee seems to be a different breed, a different animal. If there is going to be a finish, it's on the Marcus McKee side. They've actually even juiced that, but I'm going to leave that alone. Just go the safer route. Listen, we have to do this every week. Every week we got to put these up. So I'm going to play it safe. If you want to try to juice this payout, make a couple more bucks, do the higher on a finish on Marcus McGee, but I'm going to play it safe with lower on a finish Jonathan Martinez. We've talked about this in the past. Going lower on a finish accounts for many different outcomes. If you go higher on a finish for Marcus McGee, it accounts for one outcome. Lower on a finish for Jonathan Martinez accounts for Jonathan winning a decision, accounts for Jonathan getting finishes, accounts for Marcus McGee winning a decision. Like there's a lot of options there. The only way we get burned is if Jonathan finishes Marcus McGee, which I don't see happening. Let's work our way down. I'm avoiding the old man slugfest that is Weidman versus Anders. And we're going to go to Jim Miller. I don't see him finishing Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson's a very good grappler in his own right. Yeah, he's moving up in weight, but I'm not worried about that. Damon Jackson's a very good grappler. He can probably get this fight to the ground if he is somehow in trouble on the feet. Jim Miller's got a little bit of power in his old age, but I don't see him finishing Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson should win here. But again, if we go lower on half a finish by Jim Miller, that accounts for multiple outcomes. Damon Jackson could finish Jim and we get paid. Damon Jackson could win a decision and we get paid. Jim Miller could steal a decision here and we get paid. So we're going to do the lower there. That's the entry. I've already got it built. Let's go ahead and take a look. We've got the Mike Tyson line. That fight is Friday. Tomorrow night, we got the Mike Tyson line not to get a knockout. Jonathan Martinez not to get a finish. Jim Miller not to get a finish. John Jones to finish, or at least that fight not to go past 11 minutes. And then Karine Silva also not to get a finish. We're rooting for a couple of decisions here or a couple of fights going the other way. The most important thing here, guys, is get your free money. If you love this entry, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Get the free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP.